An explosion. At a historic landmark, right in the heart of India's capital. This is a story about chaos, a massive investigation, and the really tough questions it raises about the safety of our most important public spaces. So let's break it all down.
I want you to picture this. It's November 10th, the sun's gone down, and you've got that classic old Delhi energy buzzing all around. You know, the street vendors, people rushing home from work, tourists just trying to soak in all that history. It's a scene you could see any day of the week.
And we're talking about the Lal Kila metro station, literally in the shadow of the iconic Red Fort. This place isn't just a way to get from A to B, it's a real crossroads where centuries of history crash right into the daily hustle of thousands of people.
But just before 7 p.m., right in the middle of all that normal everyday life, a single car would just shatter the entire evening and kick off a massive national security response.
Okay, so what do we actually know about the blast itself? Let's get straight to the facts of what happened that night.
So the hard facts are this. It happened around 7 p.m. on November 10th. A white Hyundai i20 exploded right near Gate 1 of the metro station. And this wasn't just a small fire. We're talking a high-intensity blast that sent shrapnel flying, damaged other cars, and just plunged the whole area into absolute chaos.
And then there's the human cost. The blast killed approximately 13 people. It injured about 20 more. Just one single violent moment that ended lives and changed so many others forever. In the moments after, the big question on everyone's mind was this some kind of tragic accident, or was it something far more sinister? The official investigation kicked off almost immediately to find those answers.
You know, when something this big happens, there's a kind of playbook. First, a case is registered, but then the National Investigation Agency, the NIA, takes over. That move, that immediate handover to the NIA, that's a huge deal. It's a clear signal that the authorities are not treating this like a normal crime. From there, forensic teams get to work, which then leads to the first arrests.
Now, this is maybe the most crucial point. It's how the case was registered. The authorities used the UAPA. This is not your standard law for a car fire. It is a powerful, stringent anti-terror act. Using it tells you everything you need to know. From the very beginning, investigators were working on the theory that this was a terror plot.
And the evidence that came in started to back that theory up, and fast. The forensic teams found traces of ammonium nitrate-based explosives in the car, so this was a bomb. Then you had the first arrests, which included some really surprising suspects, even medical professionals. And maybe the most chilling detail of all, investigators found that one of them had been scouting out this exact area just a few months before the attack.
An attack like this in the capital city doesn't just start an investigation. It sends shockwaves right to the highest levels of government and puts the entire country on alert.
And the message from the very top was crystal clear. Prime Minister Narendra Modi promised that justice would be swift, vowing that the people behind this attack would absolutely be held accountable.
And from the Home Minister, Amit Shah, came the assurance of a deep and thorough investigation. His statement was basically a signal that no possibility, no motive, no group was being taken off the table.
But alongside the security response, there was also, of course, the human one. The Delhi government acted quickly to support the victims' families, announcing a compensation of 10 lakh rupees for the relatives of each person who lost their life.
And the ripple effects of this, you could feel them immediately, all across the country. Security was visibly stepped up, not just in Delhi, but at major tourist sites and transport hubs in other states too. The whole nation was suddenly on high alert.
So we've walked through what happened and how the authorities responded, but now let's kind of zoom out. Why is this specific attack so important? What are the bigger takeaways here?
Let's break down why this is such a big deal. First, the choice of target, a super crowded public space, was clearly designed to cause maximum fear and chaos. Second, the use of actual explosives, and that UAPA charge pretty much confirms this was a terror plot. But most importantly, it shines a massive spotlight on a critical vulnerability, that point where our priceless historic sites meet our modern busy transit systems. It also gives us a rare public look at how all of India's different security agencies have to scramble and coordinate in a crisis.
Look, this story is really far from over. That initial blast was just the beginning of a much longer process. So, as the investigation keeps going, what are the key things you should be watching for?
The investigation has given us some early answers, for sure, but it has also opened up some really big questions, like who exactly was behind this?
What on earth was their motive, and how did they manage to pull it off?
So here's a quick roadmap for following the story from here. Keep an eye out for the official forensic report. That's going to tell us a lot more about the bomb itself. Watch for when formal charges are filed. That might reveal if these suspects are linked to any larger terror groups. Look for any news about changes in security rules at metro stations or tourist spots. And of course, the big one. See if any group eventually makes a credible claim of responsibility for this attack.
And that really brings us to the final, critical question that an attack like this forces all of us to think about. The Red Fort is this incredible symbol of India's past. The metro is a symbol of its future. And this attack happened exactly where those two things meet. It leaves us with this really difficult but essential challenge. How do we protect our history while making sure our future is secure? There are definitely no easy answers.